Hello, criminal justice enthusiast, and welcome back to You Are the Judge. In the last episode, we went ahead and dealt with this case. Now we're going on to this one about maltreatment here. This one I found the person innocent because there was a lot of, if you remember the case, it was basically that they were claiming this group was a cult, basically, and that they were torturing children. But there was no evidence about it. So now we're on to this case about maltreatment. Looks like it might be dealing with the military. So let's see how that goes. Declare innocence of 4 individuals in court cases. Hey, nice. Got an achievement for that. I appreciate it. All right, let's go here. Result of my research. Hello, sir. Another quite stressful day, as you know. The case, as you are aware, made significant impact across all sectors and was viewed as a scandal. I humbly offer my advice. Please be more cautious, both when making decisions and in general, sir. I hope the tension directed towards you will subside. That's all I have to convey. Well, I got the case right, so I really don't care if I have people upset with me or not. Then she's prepared the documents for the next case, as normal. Let's see here. We're at 94% with the Prime Minister. We're at 100% with the Supreme Court. Uh, we're at 84% with the public. And my spouse is still at 80%. So I guess that is the way it is. Anything here? Not really. Let's see about Judge Richardson. Very bored with this country. Something needs to change now. What will become of us? No evidence, no punishment. It's that simple. That's exactly the way I feel. I will definitely heart that comment. Let's see here. It's been a long time since I went to an artistic event where I could spend time with my spouse and children. Wonder why theater and cinema tickets are so high. You know what? I don't want to get controversial on either of those, so I'm not going to post on either of those. Alright, let's go ahead out of here and head over to the pretrial hearing. Supreme Court sent a congratulatory message to judges who supported them on disciplinary penalties. Hey, so we're back up to 80% with the Supreme Court. They weren't happy on my stance a few weeks ago, but now they're happy with me again, it seems. So that's great. I mean, I know what their case oftentimes the quote unquote right answer is, but I'm still going to answer as if I was actually the judge and what I think should go on with it. So let's get to the case here. Let's see what the plaintiffs have to say. My client serves as a soldier within the Kasu military unit. He has recently stated that he has been subjected to physical and verbal violence by Senior Commander Brandon Wilson, resulting in psychological issues. We request his punishment based on the determination that the defendant exceeded his authority. All right. Oh, let's see what the evidence says. My client is a commander with numerous services to the military and the country. He is the highest ranking officer in the military unit and has full authority over security and control within the unit. He used his powers to make decisions about the soldiers in order to maintain order within the military unit. Seems logical. He provided the necessary warnings and guidance to Adrian Holt, who disrupted the military order within the scope of his authority. We reject all of the plaintiff's allegations. Alright, so not a whole lot there either way. Nothing from the defendant on this one. Your Honor, the witness, David Campbell, is a person who believes in the necessity of violence in the military. Hence, he finds the incident in question in line with his views. On the other hand, witness Joseph Reed was recently promoted by the defendant just 1 month ago and therefore cannot provide an unbiased interpretation. We request you to reject these individuals from testifying as witnesses. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to reject this here because I want to hear from all the witnesses. I want to hear from David Campbell and Joseph Reed. I will determine what I think of their information, but we're going to listen to what they have to say. Oh yes, this silly thing again. What am I going to lose this time? Hey, it's going to increase by 5 points. Great. Perfect. I think I'm just going to start picking that left card always and just see what happens. Lawsuit begins. All right, let's check that out. There we go. Let's check this out. Respectful, excited, and neat is the plaintiff. Respectful, tense, and neat is the defendant. That's fine. Let's look at the pre-trial like we're supposed to. That's done with. Let's look at the law here. Cases involving allegations of violence or abuse of authority among military personnel within military disciplines are subject to special procedures. Court assesses liability taking into consideration the military discipline and regulations of the evaluation of the incident. Those found guilty may be sentenced to imprisonment ranging from 2 to 5 years. Alternatively, they may be fined $250,000. So in this case, they actually do give me the guidelines for it. So I need to stay in those guidelines because otherwise it will say I got the case wrong overall and it's going to take what little money I have. But first and foremost, we'll see if I find that it is true or not. Let's see the case file here. Kasu Military Unit, Senior Ranking Officer Brandon Wilson has been sued by Junior Ranking Officer Adrian Holt, alleging mistreatment and abuse of authority. Adrian claims to have suffered mistreatment at the hands of Brandon, resulting in psychological and physical harm. Brandon, on the other hand, defends his actions, stating he acted in accordance with discipline and obedience rules and insulted Adrian for disciplinary purposes, claiming that Adrian disrupted military order. We've got two of the witnesses that I allowed. The other ones there, wow, they only wanted one witness to be heard. That's wrong. Against a medical report or obtained by the plaintiff. Scratches on the neck area, bruises on the abdominal area, crushing on the toes, crush on the bones of the kneecap. Dang. Yeah, we're going to hear about that definitely because that does sound like some abuse there. Let's hear from the plaintiff. How do you explain that you were mistreated by Brandon Wilson? I experienced physical and verbal abuse from Brandon Wilson, which resulted in psychological and physical harm. Okay, that's pretty straightforward of what he said before. This situation has become a lifelong trauma for me. Alright. How do you argue that Brandon's actions disrupted military order? He disrupted military order through the mistreatment and insults he directed towards me, and he exceeded the bounds of his authority as a senior commander. Moreover, his disproportionate use of power constitutes an abuse of authority. Are you requesting compensation for the harm you suffered and that Brandon Wilson be disciplined? There's nothing that can make me forget what I've been through. But at least, for the sake of alleviating it, yes, I'm requesting compensation for the harm I've suffered and that Brandon Wilson be disciplined according to military discipline procedures. So unlike many of the cases where I can just sort of make a decision and guess at the punishment, this one I do have to follow the military protocol here, which is why it said it in the law book. All right, let's hear from Brandon Wilson. How do you respond to the accusation that you mistreated Adrian Holt? I did not mistreat Adrian Holt, and I only provided the necessary warnings to maintain military order. All right. Can you explain how you reacted to Adrian Holt's actions that disrupted military order? I provided warnings and guidance to Adrian Holt in response to his actions that disrupted military order, and this response was within my military authority. What are your thoughts on the validity of Adrian Holt's claims of harm? I deny Adrian Holt's claims of harm and disciplined him in accordance with discipline and obedience rules. Yeah, the injuries on him seem different. That if I had given him severe punishments or engaged in misconduct as he alleges, he would not dare to sue me. Now, that's a little bit odd there to say it that way. All right, I want to save Zoe Carter for the end because she's the one that wasn't talked about before. So let's start with Joseph Reed. Have you witnessed Adrian Holt's actions that disrupted military order? Yes, I have witnessed his actions that disrupted military order, especially his failure to be on time for guard duty hours. That is a serious issue. Have you observed Brandon Wilson's reactions towards Adrian Holt? Yes. He provided warnings and guidance to him within the framework of military discipline. Have you observed Adrian Holt being mistreated? No. I did not directly witness such a situation. Alright, he didn't have a lot to add. Have you observed the events that could confirm Adrian Holt's claims? I have not observed any evidence of Adrian Holt being mistreated by Brandon Wilson. What information do you have about Adrian Holt's actions to disrupted military order? The military profession operates within a framework of order and discipline. Therefore, if someone deviates from this order and exhibits undisciplined behavior, it is immediately noticeable. However, I did not notice such a situation. Alright, so he hasn't seen anything really, so he's of no use. Have you observed any psychological harm experienced by Adrian Holt? In the military, everyone may experience certain psychological stresses from time to time. As you may understand, the military profession requires strong psychological resilience. I did not observe Adrian Holt suffering from psychological harm. Alright. Zoe Carter. So she's a psychologist. Have you conducted an evaluation of Adrian Holt's psychological and physical harm? Yes. It is possible to say that he suffered psychological and physical harm due to the incidents that occurred. He does not feel like he belongs here. And I can tell when I see him sitting alone and looking at him. Have you examined Brandon Wilson's actions towards Adrian Holt? He provided warnings and guidance to Adrian Holt within the framework of military discipline. Interesting. Alright, so she's saying that it was within the framework of military discipline. Have you evaluated Adrian Holt's actions that disrupted military order? Yes, honestly, he occasionally exhibited certain behaviors of this kind. Alright. So we're going to write a justification here. The defendant is found to have operated within military procedure. While harm did occur, it is not due to a breaking of the rules by the defendant. In other words, what I'm saying here is this isn't ballet. Same as like, somebody in football saying, oh, well, they got injured playing football, and them wanting to sue the linebacker that tackled them for the broken arm that they got. It's part of the game. It's part of what you signed up for. Same sort of thing here. If the psychologist had not said what she said, then I would have probably said that the guy was guilty, and I probably would have given him a minor prison sentence. But since she went the way she did, I'm going to say innocent. We'll see if it actually goes that way or not. But this is saying that the witnesses may affect the content of the case, and the witness that I was putting the most weight on was the psychologist that basically said, yeah, the guy is lazy sometimes, and he was punished within the rules of the military. Now, I did get a penalty for that. So they wanted me to punish him. I disagree with that. I really do. I'm going to go ahead and go forward a bit here. The public wants court cases to be live streamed on the internet. What are your thoughts? It's nice that the public is following the cases. Personally, I have no problem with this. Right now, there's a case going on that's called the Delphi murder case that personally has me deeply disturbed because the evidence in the particular case that's going on, is seeming very much manipulated by the prosecution and the judge. And the thing that disturbs me the most about it is I only am able to get that feeling by other people saying their opinion on it because of the fact that the judge has barred cameras from the courtroom. I think that personally allowing the public in makes things much more open and allows for visibility of what's going on. So I'm going to definitely say that it's nice to have the public in on the situation. Because, like in the Delphi case, I'd feel a lot better about it if I, actually felt that what was going on was okay. As of now, it's just sort of word of mouth of what the people in the courtroom have been saying. And with that, it really makes me think that the guy may be innocent, and sadly, he's getting persecuted by the prosecution and such because the cops in the original case didn't do their job properly. Now, I could be wrong on that. I could be entirely wrong on it. But a big part of the problem with it is I don't know because I haven't been able to watch the case myself and actually see the true evidence. So, that's sort of my stance on it. I think that's a great thing to allow for that evidence to actually come out. Now, on that case, as I said, I had a feeling that I was going to have it wrong by saying that he was innocent. But my thing is, if the psychologist said that he operated within the military rules, then I'm going to go with that. They can tell me why I'm wrong, and I'm guessing it's because of the fact that the guy did have injuries. But again, in the military, should a commander be in trouble if he tells his guys to do push ups and one of his guys tears a muscle in his arm because of doing push ups? I don't see that. I think that's sort of silly. That's my personal opinion. And that's what this game is all about. So, let me know if you agreed with me or disagreed with me on the decision. With that, though, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here. If you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and click that like button. If you've not already, please subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon, so that you're aware when I produce new videos in the future. Thank you, and hope to see you all back for more of You Are the Judge.